Vibes with deep, going deep, Chad and JT.
What up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is JT Parr coming at you live. Unfortunately, I'm flying solo today. It's a big day for me. I've never done this, and I'm excited to take this journey. I do miss my dear compadre, Chad Kroger. He is elsewhere. My boy is in Scotland at the Edinburgh Comedy Arts. He's in Scotland. And he's crushing it. We've been staying in touch despite the 9-hour time difference. And so he's nonstop. He's running his one-man show. It's amazing. You guys got to go check it out. Chill Towards Enlightenment. And it's a hustle, dude. You're out there every day. You're trying to get people into the room to come see it. You got to build momentum. You got to get reviews. His reviews are stellar right now. And you got to create a movement. And then this Amanda Knox lady who was falsely accused of murder, which was a bummer and had to spend time in an Italian prison unfairly. She's doing a one-woman show about that experience. And I'm like, and she's getting a lot of press. And I'm a little buzzkilled where I'm like, dude, you know, I don't think she should get priority above Chad because she was falsely accused of murder. Like, that sucks, but she also already got a fire documentary out of it, which I really enjoyed on Netflix. But I don't know. It's like people just come into the one woman or one man show fiefdom with a tragic tale, and that takes priority over a dude who's lived a pretty splendid life, mostly green lights. But from that has still dug deep and created what I think is an artistic masterpiece. So if you're in Scotland, which I know at least 4 of you are, go check out the show. My boy's crushing it. Can't wait till he's back though, and I can see him again. Yeah, and so now let me get to my part. What up, boom clap stokers? How you guys living? I'll tell you what, I'm living every day. I'm living every day. I've spent the last couple days getting signatures on my nomination ballot so I can run for Burbank City Council once again. And it's been awesome. I love bothering people. Like when I'm out there with my nomination sheet and I'm like, what's up? Are you a Burbank voter? And I just see a little part of them die. And they're like, please don't bother me. And I'm like, I know, but I have a calling. And when you have a calling, you are deputized to bother. I have something I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build more housing in Burbank. I'm trying to improve and expand our public transportation. I want a dedicated lane for the bus, the BRT, so we can be a multimodal city. I want more bike lanes. I want third spaces where people can come together and hang without spending money. I want a city of the future. We're a great city today. I want to make sure we're a great city tomorrow. And I get to say all that spiel, even though I have no chance of winning. It just feels good to say it. And to be totally candid, I don't even know if I want to win. Because if I do, I feel like you have to compromise yourself a little bit. I don't mean to be cynical. I'm not a cynical person. I think there's beauty in just running and just being in the arena and trying and saying what you believe to the world. But I do think it's tough when you're trying to get someone to vote for you. You have to start kind of agreeing with them. You have to kind of pander to them. You have to kind of change who you are to fit who they want you to be. And I don't like that process. So I just put in my candidate statement, these are my policies. If they align with you, vote for me. But I'm not going to slurp for votes, dude. I'm not going to lick it up. I'm not going to munch butt. I'm trying to do it straight ahead. Hey, bro, this is who I am. If you dig it, vote for me. And if I don't get a lot of votes, I don't know. I kind of dig that. Now, am I keeping myself safe by having low expectations? Maybe. But I think there's high expectations in what I'm trying to do. Can I keep it straight ahead? Because when people do believe in you, that shit goes to your head, bro. People say, oh, you seem like a good guy. You're young. I love when they say I'm young. You're young. It's good you're getting into this. I'll vote for you. That gives you a pop. And you start believing that. You start thinking, oh yeah, I'm the dude. But you're not the dude. Maybe no one's the dude. I think that's better. I think that is better. We can't make idols out of people, bro. Unless they're the sickest dude ever. Unless it's freaking Kelly Slater at Chopu right now. Just having monster rides in his heat. People were upset about that. Saying he sponsored the event. That's the only reason he got one of the slots. Took it from another young buck rider. But I don't know. It's Kelly Slater. Like, we do make exceptions for people. Is that at cross purposes with my idol talk? Probably. But you know what? I give athletes a pass, bro. Michael Jordan, Kelly Slater. I'm going to put it right here, right now, though. Of all the athletes of our lifetime, we got Big Jake on the sticks right now. All the athletes of our lifetime, I think the one with the highest approval rating, the one that the most people like, the one where when I watch their TikTok edits, everyone's on board, Ichiro Suzuki. Is anyone more beloved than Ichiro? And honestly, I think the language barrier helps, especially with Japanese dudes, because they present so well. They have such good manners. They have this like kind of humble smile, and then they got crazy skills. So you combine all that, and it's just like, you just want to freaking give him a fat hug. I want to hug Ichiro bad, dude. I watch him just throwing darts, just slapping singles, just doing things the right way.
I was going to say, did you see the alumni home run derby? Is that what brought it up for you?
No, what happened during that?
Oh, dude, it just happened like 2 days ago. I'll pull it up. Ichiro,
maybe that's why I was seeing clips. Was Ichiro in it?
Yeah, he was in it. He hit 8 dingers. It was pretty...
They always said he could have hit tons of bombs, but that he was, he prioritized being a contact hitter, which I think now, looking at like WAR and the way that baseball is played, maybe isn't the most conducive to winning, but God, it was a better product to watch. Oh, dude, Ronaldinho, good throw in from the chat here. Ronaldinho edits are my fave. Ronaldinho edits are phenomenal, especially the one that's come out recently where he's older and it looks like he's playing a footy Sal game and the ball just rolls around his feet. God, look at Ichiro just being the man. I like that he's not a huge guy too. He told Obama the key to throwing hard is soft muscle.
He's really taken a crazy hack, right? He's probably, what do you think he is? How old he is right now?
He's probably like 45.
45, yeah. And every single one would like just make it like 5 feet over the fence, but it was so fucking awesome. It was like what? This 50-year-old.
Actually, he was 27 when he came to the league, and I was like 14 when that happened. So he's 13 years older than me. So I think he's actually 51. I'm guessing. Will you look it up? 52. Yeah. I said, yeah, like I said that, but I was close, so I still feel good. Yeah, Ichiro's the man, dude. I think he's number one most beloved. I put Marshawn Lynch close to that. I was thinking about Ichiro, like, you think about the expectations he came in with. Like, they paid all this money for him. We hadn't seen a lot of Japanese players in the league, especially not field players. And then his first year, I think he won the MVP and Rookie of the Year. And the Mariners were like incredible. Brett Boone was all juiced out, and that team won like 112 games or something. I put him, LeBron, maybe Tiger, like guys who just came in with the most insane expectations, but also doubt, and then just superseded it. I give Jackie Robinson's number one on that list. Just guys, it's like, it means a lot. And it's a lot of pressure. It's not just a guy playing a sport. Everyone's like, hey, you represent this whole other thing, so you got to do good. Like, I couldn't do that. I'd be like, nah, fuck that shit, man. Don't put that on me. I'd be like, I don't even like other people who are like me, so I'm not fighting for them. But these guys, I don't know, just monsters. So yeah, I'm different with athletes. I give them the idol pass.
This was actually going to be my...
Oh, Serena's the sixth suggestion. Dude, the chat's on fire.
Yeah, chat is on fire today. This was going to be my beef of the week, but I'll say it now since we're kind of talking about it here.
Yeah, go.
So my beef of the week is the guy in high school or college that's just a stud jock athlete, right? Like the top of the top, cream of the crop. Like he is carrying the team to wins, right? But most of these guys are kind of assholes, they're kind of douches, right? But they get away with it because of they're such beasts. This brings me to the guy that I'm talking about, this guy named DeMarcus, right? In a rival football game, he returned a punt to win us the game, right? This guy was a douche. Nobody fucked with him. Like, he was a bad hang, right?
Yeah.
But since he ran that punt back, he was forever in the rafters at our school.
Yeah. I mean, production is always going to outpace personality. I think we see that in professional hoops, Look, I'll step in it right now. Every book I've ever read about the Lakers, Kobe Bryant sounds like a tough hang. But, iconic moments, 5 championships, the Mamba persona, it's always going to be number one when we're talking about him. And you know, he had other dicier stuff too, but it's like, if you can make it happen and you can carry us all to that dub, we'll give you a pass on a lot of your personality faults. But dude, how sick is it though, to the counter of what you're saying? How sick is it when it's a dude like DeMarcus, who is the best athlete, is the best performer, but he's also a good dude?
Right. Like the quarterback is also level-headed, you know?
Yes.
Like he also kind of sees the field with the ladies. Like he's cool, you know?
I talk about my buddy from junior high, Chad DeCasas. He was the best athlete. He was the best looking guy. He was the biggest guy. Dude, he was the fucking man. He was cool as shit. He was never mean when he didn't have to be. He was always nice. He'd give you, I mean, he'd check you if you were being a dork. Like, you know, if I thought I was good at boxing or something, he'd be like, you might want to chill. But he was never over the top about it. And life threw curveballs at that dude, and he just handled it like a G. And I was like, you know what? You are the best among us. Like, you're like if Achilles was like fun to get a burrito with. And I those guys, you know.
I think part of it too for me is a lot of these, like, I was in wrestling, right?
Yes.
So a lot of these like douches would take their anger out on you in practice. So it wasn't like they were just like a douche outside. They would just literally sit there and manhandle you for fucking an hour and then be like the man fucking to everybody else. And you're like, bro, this guy's a fucking asshole. You know?
You do. I mean, former UFC legend, I remember reading his autobiography, and like he put in his own book like stories of just ruthlessly bullying people. And I was like, this is not cool. And like, even like people in his like family, like, you know, and I was like, oh man, I wish I didn't know all this stuff. You do see that. You do.
That's kind of part of the drive, right? Like, that's why they're so fucking, I don't know, that ego or whatever it is like what drives them to be fucking great.
Yeah. The maniacal drive, the narcissistic drive. I still have hope that someone can do both, that they can be the top performer. You know, Chad's a lot like that. Chad's a very high functioning, high productivity dude. And he is maniacal in his work ethic, but he's only hard on himself. He's so nice to everybody else. And so I think that's probably why I like hanging out with him so much, is that I'm just like, dude, just a great guy, but he's also bringing it. And it's very rare.
Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know that we are brought to you by the Cash App. Guys, the Cash App is my favorite way to basically send money to and from my friends, people I'm working with, whatever. It's simple, it's easy, it's fun. You guys know these apps, and Cash App makes it simple, easy, and fun. They fire me up, dude. Just friggin', you know, let's say I have like a meal coming up. I got like a chicken parm with a fat acai bowl. Interesting combo, I know, but that's how I roll. But then, you know, maybe I want to get my buddy, he asked for, you know, a freaking burrito. And he's like, dude, I'll send you the money. I'm like, how are you gonna do it? You don't have any cash. He's like, I use Cash App. That's how you do it. That description right there was perfect. Okay? That fires me up. And guys, keeping your money safe from fraud deserves to be a priority, and Cash App treats it that way. With security lock, Cash App requires a successful Face ID or a biometric authentication to access your account. It's like your money is protected by your own personal bodyguard, even if your phone is lost or stolen. Plus, if you're about to send money to someone new and Cash App notices something looks a bit off, or that you might be falling for a scam, it will send you a warning before the money is sent to confirm that everything looks right. Download Cash App and spend with peace of mind today. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code SECURE10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Cash App Visa Debit Flex cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and the Bancorp Bank NA, pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc. See terms and conditions for the Sutton prepaid cards, Sutton Debit Flex card, and Bancorp Debit Flex card discounts and promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
So like I've noticed chicks don't like it when you call them chicks. But I as a dude have no problem when chicks refer to guys as dongs. So I don't know, there's just something kind of interesting there where I'll be like, oh yeah, this one chick, and I'll see like my friends' wives kind of like do an eye thing. But then when my wife is just calling dudes dongs, that makes sense to me. We are dongs. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being a chick. I think people assume if you say chick, you think chicks are like chicks. It's like, oh yeah, she's got a butt and some boobs. And I definitely mean that. But I also think by saying that, I'm not limiting you. Like, I'm just being like, isn't that nice that you have that stuff? And I think when you're like 80, you're actually going to like that I call you a chick. You'll want reminders that you're a chick. Not to presuppose where you'll land in your evolution. Dude, also, I've been on a killer run of getting invited to concerts. Yeah, I'm going to one on Friday at the Greek to see Goose. And then last week, a band I adore, and I'm really excited to see Goose, fired up to see y'all. Last week, Mark Roberge from the band OAR, who I've been listening to since I was in high school. Like, I remember I was in my buddy Ross's car and he put on Crazy Game of Poker. And I was like, dude, this is the best song of all time. Like, someone wrote this? And he messaged me and invited me to come to the show. And I was so fired up. And I went, and I might just be old now, but I love going solo to a concert. Because I don't want to be responsible for someone else's vibe. I just want to lock in and like feel it on my own terms. And if I want to switch seats or move around or leave for a minute or whatever I'm trying to do, I can do it. And it's not a hassle to anyone else. And so I went to this show solo and I get there and Gavin DeGraw is opening. I love Gavin DeGraw. I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. Yes. That was my Kairos song, Religious Retreat, that I went on and led. Kairos won at J. Sarah. And dude, it was spectacular. He did a lot of beautiful covers, great performer. Then OAR goes up and they gave me a nice seat. I'm so grateful to you guys. And I'm chilling and I'm just like, this is great. I'm having so much fun. What a special night. Life is the best. And then I see the bassist or the lead guitarist kind of point at these people. And then they sit next to me and I'm like, oh, maybe they're friends with the guitarist. And I'm like, oh, are you guys friends with the guitarist? And she's like, no, I'm married to the lead singer. And I just started dying laughing. I was like, oh, nice. And I had moved into that row because I think somebody else was in my seat. So I wasn't supposed to be next to them. And me and her started talking. She's super nice. All of her friends from high school are in front of her. They're chatting. She's having like a great moment being with her friends, watching her husband just absolutely rip. Mark's incredible. And then her son's with her. He's like 18 and she leaves. And I was like, I got to ask him. I was like, dude, what's it like watching your dad perform? And he was the sweetest, most well-adjusted kid. And he was like, yeah, at first I was embarrassed, but now I just love it so much. He's so good at what he does. I was like, are you a musician? He's like, no, I'm a hockey player. And I was like, but that's sick. Like, you know, you've seen your dad make his dream come true. Maybe you'll do the same. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go to Ohio State next year. And he just seemed like a great kid. And I was like, dude, you know, he kind of did it. Mark from OAR, he did it. He had a dream. He wrote great songs. They got popular. He's been touring for 30 years, bringing that show on the road, making people feel things, helping people feel good. And he's got this beautiful family. He's got a bunch of kids. They all turned out great. And yeah, just so much respect to him for carving out that life for himself. He seems like a great dude.
I'm also on board with the solo concerts.
Yeah,
I don't know why I've seemed to have the best time. And I think part of it is like I can just unleash and just sing at the top of my lungs, right? And like kind of like not wild, but just like really feel it.
Yes.
You know, like you're in it. Like it's just you and the performer, even though there's 20,000 other people or however much, you don't even notice it because you're just by yourself locked in. And Yeah, I don't know. I've seen so many concerts solo, and it's the best, bro.
It's the best.
And that the other part too, like you said, you meet random people that are like fans, but you don't really know them. But you're like, yeah, this is kind of like a cool little experience, you know? Like we're both here.
You meet more people.
Yeah.
I had great conversations. Another guy was like from San Clemente, and we used to go to the same beach, and it got washed out from like erosion, and he's still sending me photos of it. I'm like, send me all the videos you got. I love it. He actually just messaged me today asking me about Kairos. He was awesome. He was such a cool dude. And yeah, it's really just wonderful.
It is like
not to say wonderful, but it is.
It's funny too. Almost all those people I still follow on like social media that I meet, and it'll be like 5 years later, and I'm like, oh, Ashley's got a family and she's cool now. I'm like, you know, it's like,
dude, 100%. Me and Chad went to Grateful Dead at Dodger Stadium like 8 years ago, and this cop says what up to us. And then he messaged me. I follow him. Dude, I've been keeping track of this guy's life for a decade. And like we talked a little bit during like the BLM stuff, like everything that's gone on. He had kids. I've just watched it all happen. And I've watched him shift in certain directions, all these things, but I feel connected to him in a real way. It's pretty amazing. Dude, some guys are in the chat. They're trying to get political with it. They're saying they don't like Enes Kanter and Royce White, saying that they're going to go into the WNBA because Sophie Cunningham talked about how she didn't want trans women in the WNBA. You know, it's so crazy about this whole thing. I don't think trans people should be able to, I don't think people who are born biologically male who transition into women should compete in sports against other women. I just don't think that's fair. I wish, you know, you could have everything, but maybe you got to sacrifice some things in order to self-determine your overall happiness. But dude, here's the thing. It's not a lot of people. And it's become this issue that we're talking about all the time because liberals are feckless and they don't want to say it's bad because they don't want to alienate themselves from tolerance. And then people on the right fixate on it because they know that, and they know it creates a situation where liberals won't say they're against it. And so you get this like just nonstop incessant dialogue over something that I think is pretty basic actually, where we should be tolerant to people, let them self-determine how they want to live, but that can't come at the expense of other people when it's sports competition. Okay. Dude, the amount that we're fixating on it is driving me bananas. It's driving me bananas. All right? Can we just say, look, it's not happening and we're just moving on, and let's focus on other aspects of life that we can make better for people from marginalized communities and people from all communities. But like it is funny to me too, like it's such a small section of the population. This is very tangential, but do you remember I used to do that bit about like how it's kind of unfair if you don't have legs that you're able to wrestle? Because like it's hard to pin you. You're wrestling at 135 pounds. If you had legs, you'd probably be 200 pounds. So your upper body strength is like completely disproportionate to the other dudes you're wrestling. But imagine if we were trying to pass state law to make it illegal for dudes with no legs to wrestle. Like if we were fixated so much on the fairness of this like a very small portion of the population winning a sort of off-center sport. Like if we were spending all this time like in congressional hearings being like, should people without legs be able to wrestle? We'd be like, dude, what are we doing here? Like we got Congress people fighting about this shit. And they're like, everyone just looks so stupid. I'm like, bro, we gotta have bigger issues than this. Maybe we don't. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know why we're talking about it so much. It's cuckoo bajou, dude. But, you know, it's exciting. We like exciting stuff. Dude, speaking of sports, like, you know how I got amped when I almost got Ichiro's age right? Do you correct people online when they get stuff wrong?
No, I don't. I know you like to, but
I do.
Yeah. I
Like
never
if
gotten
people
into
say
it.
like, "Oh, Martin Scorsese directed The Godfather," which is a bad mistake, but I'll be like, "What? What are you talking about?" No, it's Francis Ford Coppola. I'll bust that in there.
Yeah, I've never really gotten into it. I don't know why.
I did a video about trying to explain the national debt to a bodybuilder, and I said I was trying to talk about the endocrine system, and I said endocrine, and all the comments on the video were just like, "Dude, you blew it. You blew it. That's not how you say endocrine." And it made me think about like the Kitty Genovese story. Do you know that? No. It was this psychological phenomenon that they call the bystander effect, where basically this woman was being assaulted and murdered outside of an apartment building, and there was tons of visibility from the neighbors. But the story goes that no one tried to call the cops because they all assumed somebody else was going to call the cops. And so it's this weird thing that humans do where we put the burden of responsibility to fix things on someone else. I guarantee you, if the dude murdering Kitty Genovese would have stated an incorrect fact, all those neighbors would have started yelling out their window. Like if he was stabbing her and he's like, "Oh, you're going to have no endocrine system after this," all the neighbors would have been like, "It's endocrine." No one would have had the bystander effect. No one would have waited for someone else to correct them. They all would have jumped in and said, "This is actually how you say that, sir." The murder thing, not my business, but say endocrine the way it's meant to be pronounced. You dummy, you dumb murderer.
I don't get too involved with it is because I feel like these days a lot of people are just trolls and are like saying shit to fuck with people in general. So like I'm not gonna fall to their trap, you know. I'm not gonna be the one that's like, "You got me, you fucking dummy."
You got. It's probably good to stick to your guns. I also think that Kitty Genovese story was somewhat overstated. Apparently, some neighbors did try to call the cops, and the guy was caught later by bystanders who stepped in and stopped him. Like I think they literally slashed his tires so he couldn't get away, and got him arrested. So you know, the story of humanity is more positive than sometimes represented. I'm done. I'm getting cooked for that for sure. The message is gone. That's all anyone's going to remember. Damn it, dude. I just bonked it. Bro, I got to talk about my fantasy football league. We have a huge collective action problem. There's 15 guys in the league. We cannot all pull in the same direction. We have to have votes on votes on votes. We lost 2 members. They left for personal reasons. They didn't like us anymore. That stung all of us. And guys react differently to it, right? Like some guys were like, "Well, we need new members who will be loyal to us." I'm like, that's a weird way to think about it. But then we fought so much about everything. And like, okay, are we going to have them co-manage? Are we going to do this? Are you going to go... Are they going to be able to make the draft? If they can't make the draft, do we still let them do it? One of the guys we ended up letting in the league, great guy, he's going to be in Greece when we're drafting. He can't even draft anymore. It's just a total boondoggle. And I'm getting to the point, if you're in a fantasy football league, it should not be a democracy. The commissioner should make all the calls. Does that behoove me? Yes, because my brother is the commissioner. My brother's the commissioner. But we disagree on stuff a lot. But I'd rather just have him run it and just make the calls, dude. Because the other thing is we're texting all the time, so guys just want to have their voices heard. So they throw stuff in and everyone just babbles and we don't get anywhere. And then guys will do jokes, which are like funny, but they undercut the momentum for whatever we were trying to get done. And then it's just a loop. And we all have kids.
I can relate to this because last year I was kind of the guy who started the rule change about field goals missed. I wanted -1 point. And there was like a 3-week fucking battle about this -1 point thing that really probably didn't matter at all. But at the time, a lot of kickers were missing and there were close games. So I was like, bro, this could change the tides. But I hear you. I think somebody just needs to, put their foot down and say, fuck it. That 1 point is included or not.
Yeah, you just need someone to just say, my buddy did it a couple years ago. He just was like, hey, our buddy Kyle's going to be in the league. And that's just the way it is. Kyle's great. He's awesome. It was the right move. And we didn't go through 3 months of like, well, what about this? And then we're arguing about people we're friends with, where we're like, hey, I actually don't want this guy in the league. And someone else is like, why would you say that about so-and-so? And then you're like, all right. Now, and then like, did something happen? You know what? Actually, speaking of which, let's call my buddy Tom real quick. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
You waking up from a nap, dude?
What's up?
Are you waking up from a nap?
Nah, dude, I'm waking up from straight up sleep, dude.
Well, so guys, I'm doing a solo pod. This is my dear friend Tom Hall. You probably remember him from the Body Parts Draft. It was one of the most auspicious debuts in podcast history, not only for this podcast, but in the entire medium. And he's an ER doctor, so my homie sleeps in. So if you're thinking, who's this lazy butt just getting his day started, you couldn't be more wrong, because he spent his whole night saving lives. How many lives did you save last night?
I was actually off last night. It's complicated because I had to force myself to stay up because I had to get back on my night shift schedule where I can sleep through the day and then work tonight.
So this is training.
It's training. It's basically like Achilles training before he goes to Troy.
Right. Do you think
But I'm
Achilles...
just doing it by staying up late watching Dune and Rick and Morty episodes.
You're a great guy. Which Dune were you watching, 1 or 2?
I was watching 1, dude. I was putting in the work.
Why would you do that to yourself? 2 is so much better.
2's amazing. It was 2. The beginning is, I can't not watch it. Like 2, when it starts, I'm just up to it. And last night I was trying to be a little productive, doing some work and emails and stuff. And so I kind of needed the slow burn kind of background vibes.
Right. It's more like a fireplace.
So exactly. I appreciate you understanding, but you're right, dude. Dune 2 is one of those rare sequels that maybe it just surpasses the first, like fucking Maverick or Blade Runner. It's like those so rare.
Wow. You put a lot in that statement. All right. Well, I got some questions lined up to you, but one just popped into my head just based off
Yeah, maybe.
the way you're setting the scene.
You're catching me. You're catching me like raw, dude. My brain's just waking up with the world.
We'll click in, baby, because we're on. All right.
I'm ready.
Would you go Denis Villeneuve or you go Christopher Nolan?
I gotta go Denis right now. I think.
Wow.
I think Nolan has created his own unique style. Like I think he's ahead of Denis in that you watch his movies and you know they're his movies. And I think he has like a distinctive style, almost like Michael Mann, like, or any sort of like well-known director that, or like Tarantino, someone that creates their own craft where people go to see their movies almost just based on name recognition now.
And the mark of an auteur, you see a frame and you're like, oh, I know who directed this movie.
I think so. Yeah. I think he's like achieved that. Nolan has. But I think in terms of actually like creating consistent watchable movies for everyone, I think Denis might be is there now. Like maybe when Denis gets as prominent or like as big as Nolan in 5 or 10 years or something, if that happens, he might go down the same path where he like starts becoming not like niche, but like maybe he has a style that some people might actually not enjoy or like, because I think some people watch Nolan movies and they're like, oh, it's just too confusing, or he's like, he's jumping around with time too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fair, but like he's achieved that point where he's like the guy kind of now. He's like almost Spielberg or something, but I think Denis, you watch his movies, he's a little bit more of a chameleon. I think he can do a little bit more movies that are all watchable and are consistently really good. Like Arrival, Prisoners, Blade Runner, Dune. You know, you watch all of them, and they're all kind of different. Sicario, but they're all really well done, and they're all kind of hit. And they don't have like I don't know. So I mean, I guess you could argue Blade Runner 2049 might turn off a few people because it's like, oh, it's a little too far down into that sci-fi path. But like, I think if you really just want a bankable movie and want it to be appealing to a wide audience, you might pick Denis, you know, because like, but Nolan you might just make more money just based on the name recognition, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely got the title right now. But you're making a future bet that when it's all settled, Denis is going to be the guy.
Oh, that's I don't know. I don't know. There's still time left. That's a good question. Who's going to be the guy at the end? I'm just saying right now, I guess. But oh man, that's tough, dude. That's really tough.
You just woke up.
I just woke
you didn't
up.
save
Now I'm
lives
back.
last
night.
Now
I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But you're going to save lives tomorrow night.
He's going to overtake Nolan, but I don't know, man. I'm going to save lives as best I can tonight, yes.
That's awesome, dude. Hey, and I like the best you can. It's like with my kids. They're like, Dad, will you always protect me? I say, I'll try.
Yeah, it's all we can do, bro, you know?
Do you think, I'll ask one more broad philosophical question before we push on. Do you feel like
I love it.
Becoming a doctor has made you feel more powerful, like as someone who can save lives, or has it made you more resigned that life goes the way it's supposed to go and you kind of just hold our hands through it?
Oh, I think the latter, bro. But again, I might be biased based on my role as an emergency doctor. So like a lot of times I'm seeing pathology or disease or people at their kind of final stages or things that are somewhat chaotic and unpredictable. And so you feel somewhat like a leaf in the wind. Whereas like maybe a neurosurgeon, well, I guess that might be a bad choice too, because sometimes their pathology is pretty like terminal. But
right.
There definitely might be certain fields in medicine where they are fixing problems pretty concretely and pretty definitively. You could argue like orthopedics in some ways, certain pediatric, even cancers that respond well to treatments. And so you could feel actually pretty powerful and effectual. But I think sometimes, yeah, my job, like people come in coding or dead, dying, and it's like they stay that way. It's like maybe we'll get them back. It's pretty rare though. It's really rare. And so, yeah, I guess based on my perspective, it's probably the latter. Although you probably find a majority of doctors would say something about the latter being more the predominant kind of perspective you take on it after seeing so much and seeing so many different things that can happen in life and so many things that can quote unquote go wrong or that are just like random and natural and that just happen. And we just try to kind of like make the best of it or try to find a way to optimize your time or minimize the effects.
Do you think it's made you a hornier person?
A more what person? Sorry?
Horny.
Oh, more horny person. That's a good question, dude. Probably. At least maybe we're all horny, you know, like we all have a baseline like drive, which is normal, but then you start seeing people dying and you see the temporary nature of life and you maybe are like less guilty of accepting it and like I guess trying to find a way to live with it versus feeling bad about it or like
that's how I think I would react to it, because you're like, this is all it is, man. It's just if we're physically able to, we should be living, because it could go away in a second and there's not much you can do to change it once it's gone.
Yeah, and it's not like you get a sort of I wouldn't say I've become like nihilistic or hedonistic. I think I've just become a little more stoic, and you kind of see things as they are and you try to see the positive or see like the balance. In some ways you can become a little more optimistic. In some ways, like you try to just see the good things. Although I guess it could be a personality thing too. Some people might take a more pessimistic approach.
Dude.
But, yeah.
So like, my gait has been a little bit off. My right foot has been catching intermittently while I'm walking. And of course, someone like me who's hyper vigilant about whatever's going on in my body, I went into
I'm having a stroke.
I went into panic and I was like, it's ALS. And I'm on a one-way street to just not being able to do much. And but I think I've settled on it's most likely just some L5 irritation from doing trap bar deadlifts. And so
Definitely could be that. Yeah. Little local neuropathy from like a pinched nerve. Yeah.
exactly, my dog. But I'm still lifting because, you know, you got to have that kind of balance where you're like, well, I don't want to just like wait on this thing and let other things get bad. So I just need to modify my training. So I'm just not loading the spine and doing anything explosive, keeping it zone 2 with the cardio.
Yeah, probably smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, I think if you're not having, I wouldn't do anything that causes you like severe pain. Like you want to find that balance between working your muscles, but also not causing like structural pain in your spine or in your joints. And then, yeah, just, I guess if you're actually having weakness, you just want to keep an eye on that. But if it's more of just like a catch of a toe or something, it not necessarily speaking to like spinal cord pathology. But if you actually have weakness, that would be something to probably get checked.
Now I'm walking on my heels and I've still got pretty good strength in it. I mean, it does need a little bit more effort to balance on that foot. But again, that might have been a discrepancy that was already there and I'm just now fixating on it. But I'm getting an MRI, so we'll know for sure. But
You'll know for sure.
In your experience, if it's a minor just kind of herniated disc or whatever kind of pressure's going on there, that'll probably heal on its own, right, dog?
That can heal through like physical therapy and time if you just have a small bulging disc causing like a mild nerve compression or something. Yeah, definitely surgery is not like the immediate first choice. If you have a significant nerve root compression from a disc bulging where you're having like severe pain, no. with weakness, that's like the big thing is like you're actually losing function in the nerve. That's kind of the red flag sign where it's like, oh, this might need like immediate decompression, but you're gonna have a lot of pain probably, and then you're gonna have like actual, not like full-on paralysis, but almost to that point where you just like can't move the leg well.
Yeah, we're not even in that ballpark.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're having severe pain or like actual true weakness, if this is even what that is, you know. And then spinal cord in the center, you know, you worry actually about, you'll get like weakness in both legs, bowel bladder dysfunction, where you're like, not able to pee or poop, or you're wetting yourself because you're like you just like you lose function
only
there.
Intentionally.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't stress too much.
No, it's just you got to keep an eye on everything these days.
You do that. You do. You don't want to ignore things. You got to do like self-checking. You know, tell the dudes and their dongs and their balls, dude, and chicks with their tits. You got to be on that stuff, you know, because you get older and that stuff can hit.
How's your pec feeling?
Yeah, speaking of mine, my tits, dude, my pec, it's good. I'm almost back. I think. Yeah, I tore completely the tendon, just completely off the bone.
Skiing, dude.
4 months? No, I'm on 5 months post-op now. February, dang, I'm 6 months. So I'm at a pretty good point where, I've started doing pretty much everything again. And I feel pretty good. Thank you, bro. It was tough for about a month or two, but I'm doing good now.
That's what's up, dog. All right, well, let's end on this, dude.
Yeah, baby.
The Spider-Verse films. The animated ones, Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
Oh, dude. I started watching the second one last night after Dune had finished. It's so good. I need to rewatch the first one, I think, because I started watching the second one. I was just locked in, dude. It's so...
The first one was my favorite film of that year. I thought it was unbelievable.
So
the second one is dense because there's so much like...
There's a lot.
Yeah, it's like Matrix Reloaded in terms of how much like world building you got to hold up. But dude, I think they might be, if the third one's good, it might be the best trilogy in history.
Ooh, that's a tough call. I mean, Dune 3 is coming out. You still have Lord of the Rings.
Bro, I don't even think it's close though, dude. With the philosophical implications, The deterministic
we'll
wheel.
see.
I'm big on.
We'll see.
I'm big on free will versus the deterministic wheel. I was an Adjustment Bureau guy.
Yeah, and Lord of the Rings, it's like very much fate, or like it's very Judeo-Christian, or like even mythologic, Homeric in that sense, where it's like everyone's kind of having these fates that they're following.
Yeah, the cart is on the rail.
Yeah. You like it's your duty to stay on your path and to like be the hero that you have the potential to be or destined to be.
Yeah, I like it when your destiny is not to be a hero, and then you say, you know what? I'm gonna be a hero. I like that.
Yeah, dude, that is pretty sick. You're right. That scene in Across the Spider-Verse where he jumps off the train at the end was pretty amazing. Where he's like, "No, I'm gonna do it my way."
Oh, dude, how sick was that? It was like, everyone keeps telling me what I gotta do. I'm just gonna do my own thing, bro.
Do it my way. That was pretty sick. You're right. And the first one, the 3D was amazing. In the
animation is beautiful.
The second one, the animation is off. Yeah, it really is. I don't want to say like revolutionary, but it was like so fresh. It kind of like revitalized that in a lot of ways.
My kids love it. It boggles their mind. Yeah, it boggles my mind. I'm like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like the amount of craft put into each one of these frames is just absurd, dude.
Yeah, and I love Miguel O'Hara is such like a compelling villain. It's
incredible.
You're right, it's dense. That second one, they expanded it almost too much, or not too much, but I didn't like how they left on a cliffhanger. They tried to pack so much into the second one. That was like a little frustrating.
The ending did feel abrupt. Not as abrupt as Dune 1, which ends in a bar fight, but very abrupt. I will agree with you. I'm like, it is a little bit like where you're like, okay, dude, my mind's kind of melting from all this. But I mean, dude, and then the canon event thing, I didn't realize, because I wasn't familiar with the canon event as the TikTok trend before I realized it came from the movie. And then I was like, dude, they invented that?
Yeah, and like the soundtrack, the score of that movie, like the like the kind of ominous like 3-chord strike they do when Miguel O'Hara shows up, or even like the theme, like they really did a good job with that movie, like fleshing out the whole lore of the Spider-Man universe, adding a new soundtrack, new themes.
Dude, you know what? Your thoughtful entertainment of my hyperbole has actually made me come back to center. And maybe it's not the greatest trilogy in history, but I think you got to contend with it. But yeah, it's probably.
Yeah, I think we'll see how this third one ends up.
Yeah, we need to let time kind of marinate a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
all right,
it's up there.
I'm going with the Before series. I'm going with the Before series. That's still got the title for me.
Oh, whoa. That's like a dark horse, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's a very intelligent pick. A lot of talking in that movie.
You know me,
a lot
dude.
of emotion.
If I can sound smart, I'm gonna try. All right, Tom. Well, we love you, dude. Is there anything you want to say before you go? Just like to kind of like, I don't know. Do you want to give the Stokers something to chew on? Maybe an inspiring nugget.
Oh man, I guess we were talking about stoicism, and I guess a final thought that always sticks with me is Marcus Aurelius's quote that he wrote in Meditations about the ability to control your thoughts. Treat it with respect, because it's what separates us from the beasts and connects us to the divine.
Well
said, we have the ability to control our dreams, dude. So use it wisely.
I'm gonna do it.
That's a little throwback to the beginning, talking about Nolan, dude. Dream crafting.
Bro, I was gonna go easy with it and say Inception, dog, but I was just gonna say Inception. I was literally just gonna be like Inception.
Inception, dude. Yeah.
Inception, dude.
All right, bro. That's
all right,
perfect.
Dude. Love you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too, brother. Yeah, good luck on the pod, dude. Solo pod, you're a legend, dude. I'm excited to listen to it.
We've gone in a lot of directions. I think it's gonna be a big meatball, but I think some people will like the taste. Love you, dude.
Love you, dude. Later, Jake.
Peace. What a great guy. Love that dude. Damn, I wanted to ask him about Star Wars too. He really knows his stuff. Jake, are you investing?
Not as much as I would like. No, I got like a Roth IRA from an old retirement when I worked at a school district a long time ago, but that's pretty much it. I should be like, everything just seems to be going up.
17 years, dude. Market's been on an upswing.
Yeah. It's like, especially like a lot of the stuff that I was interested in, like in college, there was a kid who was like, yo, buy AMD. It's like massive. They're going to build all these chips for computers. And I was like, oh, we don't need computer chips. Like my computer works just fine. You know, I didn't even think about like the evolution of computers and like what these chips could be used for. But at the time it was like $12. Now it's like, I don't even know. I don't even want to look. It's over hundreds. Like, let's see here. $4.74. Like I would have been a million. I would have literally not had to work another day just from this one stock. If I even put like $1,000 in it, you know,
bro, pessimists sound smart. Optimists make money. You got to risk it to get the biscuit. I'll occasionally dip my toe into some Scott Galloway talk, and his like saying for the stock market right now is like, we all know it's going to come down. We all know it's ramping up too fast, too high, but is now the right time to get out? Are we in 97 or 99? Referencing the first tech web boom and crash. And my thing, the mistake he's making is he's saying 99 is the bad thing. But 1999 was the sickest year ever. Limp Bizkit, dude. A bunch of freaking great movies. I think Fight Club came out in 99. So he keeps being like, oh, dude, be careful. It's 1999. I'm like, yeah, bring me back, dog. Because 99 was it. So every time he says that, I put more money into the market. Let's get it, dude. I think everything's actually going to work out. I think we're actually going to get the productivity returns on AI that people think won't come to fruition in time. I think they will. And I think it's actually going to be pretty sick. I'm going to be an optimist. And then if shit goes sideways, I'll have egg on my face. I'll be super bummed, potentially lose my car and other stuff. But it just seems like a better ride to not think the gnarly thing's going to happen, be stoked. And then when the gnarly thing happens, well, it's probably going to happen anyways. And I was going to take a beating anyways.
Yeah, do you think like a lot of the investing or like stockbrokers, just people in general that invest a lot, do you think they use a lot of like emotion into like, hey, I think the world's going to be bad, or I think it's going to be good at this, or like, or are they just like, this company does this and like, this is going to go big, you know?
I think everyone kind of agrees that the hype is not totally connected to the fundamentals at this point. But the market can be irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So if everyone's being irrational, it's kind of rational to be irrational. Mind you, I don't know anything about what I'm talking about. But I'm ripping buzzwords and phrases at a really strong clip. And I think they're loosely connected to what we're talking about. So hang in there and get rich listening to this. No, dude, honestly, I would sell everything. I'd be all the way out. Just chill. Get into something brick and mortar. Let's open a laundromat, dude. They always make jing. Dude, I just don't think I valued, maybe because I grew up spoiled and like it was an easy life for me, but I don't think I valued making dough enough. I think early in my career, I thought not trying to make dough would actually help me make dough because it would make what I was saying cooler and then more people would want in on it. But actually the people who went for dough, no one cared and thought they were sellouts for doing it. And then they just ended up making a lot of dough. So I guess I've become not more cynical because you got to live your life as you are, not as someone else. That won't work. But I guess I've just become more like open-minded to the idea that like whatever you want to do, even if you think it's like not the perfect version of you that you were watching in a movie, maybe that's not an ish. Maybe you just, reflect on it later, but with more, you got more, your shit's better.
I think a lot of it is like when you're young or like choosing a quote unquote career, right? And you're like thinking about these jobs like accountant or like stock investor, whatever these things might be. Like you just think of like a guy at a desk in like a fucking cubicle or something.
Yes.
Right? And you want to chase the thing that's like, no, I want to like go do something. Like I want to chase my
romantic.
Or at least me anyways. I think
no,
like,
me too.
I want to chase my dream. Like I want to like try and push it to the limit, right? Like I want to see what I can create or like build. But then the guys who like stuck it out through like college and like accounting or all that, like they're like set now.
They're
like,
crushing it.
They could retire like at like 50, right?
And then the romantic life that you were chasing, it at a certain point, it is the sick job, but it also just becomes a job.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you're like, oh, I'm not getting as big a bump from the romance of what I'm doing, and I'm not making a ton of jing on it. So like, should I have just done the thing that was kind of a buzzkill, but actually now on the back end is like sets you up pretty nicely?
Yep. And the stress part of it too. You think like those jobs are high stress, like you're investing people's money and shit, right?
100p.
But every job has stress. Like I probably would have the same issues doing what I'm doing now, doing that. You know, like it would be a little bit different, obviously, but you still have these stresses. Like every job has a stress. You kind of just, I don't know. I'm with you. I didn't set myself up as good as I probably should have, but hopefully one day I do. You know,
dude, totally. Hey, it's never too late.
Yeah.
I mean, you can become whoever you want to be whenever you want to be it. I believe that. Dude, guy in the chat right here, Big Logan said, JT, how do I get out of debt without being a chode? I have the perfect plan for you, dude. And this is something that not a lot of people will teach you. I think I'm actually first to market on this. You need to get married. Find a woman who has more money than you and get married to her. You don't have to be in love with her, because almost immediately divorce her. Because not only in a divorce do you split the upside, you split the downside. Your debt, they take on half of it.
This could be like some superficial stuff, but isn't it crazy that like some chicks, like when they think of a career, it's just like marry some rich guy and steal half of it. It could happen with men.
Well,
too.
look, so let me defend the ladies here.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
when we're keeping women out of the workforce for 80 years or whatever, if you want to just take it from post-industrial revolution, that they didn't have a lot of options. So that was the only thing on tip. I think what's going to be interesting going forward is now that women have caught up and by a lot of metrics are doing better professionally relative to other men in their age bracket, I think what you're going to see is a lot of women getting taken advantage of by dudes. Because I don't think opportunism falls to one gender. I think if you got to survive, you're going to do what you can. So if you're a young cutie dude who can accommodate his personality to a rich chick who is pretty chill, you're going to make that move. And so I think it's going to go both ways, and we're starting to see that turn a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to also put on the record that my like sort of misogyny kind of bled through there. I didn't mean to say, it's just women. People in general, they just try to marry somebody and take half of it, It's like,
wait, what did you say? Like, I think I misheard you because I thought you were just going to be
I was
hedging, but did you just reaffirm what you said the first time?
No, just people in general. It's not gender based.
Right, sure.
Yeah. I apologize. Just saying.
No, you're
chicks,
good, dude. No, you're also, dude. Here's the thing, bro. I think we get too caught up in like being like, oh, can you believe a guy said like a negative thing about women? He's like a misogynist. Like, of course we should all be smarter and more evolved, but also you're a guy and you're dating women. So your perspective is going to come from that. It's the same way when women are like, guys are like this. And we're like, why does that chick hate dudes? It's like, cause she's been dating dudes. Like we're all going to have some hangups based off our fears and experience. I don't think that makes you a bad person. I think it's cool you're willing to openly dialogue on it, brother. I know you're a great guy. I've been thinking about that too. We're like I've been called a misogynist, but the only people who have ever called me a misogynist were women I dated. And so to me, it's more like, am I a misogynist or do you and me just have problems? Like if I'm hiring the best person for a job and it's a woman and we get along great, but then I come home and you and me are beefing and you're like, hey, you're a misogynist. And I'm like, nah, dude, like you're being a dick to me and I have a fucking problem with it. And then sometimes I overreact and now I'm being a dick. I don't think it has anything to do with you being a chick or me being a dude. We're just in the same house and we're having issues. and I'm sorry, like if you were a dude, we'd probably have these same problems. Unless you're Chad, who's like impossible to fight with and just the nicest guy ever. But other dudes I definitely beef with.
What up?
What up, dude?
Dude, what up, man? This is Smoking Ganj here, longtime fan. Big love to you, JT.
Hey, big love to you, Smoking Ganj.
Hell yeah. But yeah, dude, I guess I'm just calling in honor of your solo cruising pod. You know, you're flying solo out without your best boy.
Yep.
I kind of got a similar thing going in life where, like, you know, I moved to a small town. Honestly, life is good. I'm not going to rehash the tons of callers who are like, how do I make friends? You know, I got a girlfriend, I got family, life is good. I'm just calling to ask, you know, what's some solo stuff to do to keep my stoke up, you know? Like, I got free time. It's mostly just me chilling. I know you were talking about going to concerts solo. That honestly seems rad as hell. I like going to a movie solo every once in a while, but yeah, man, just what do I do with myself other than sit and stare at the wall?
Bro, those are literally two of my top things. Concert solo, movie theater solo. Bro, I'm going to throw you this, and you might have already missed the window. And I mentioned this at the beginning of the pod, so forgive me if you made it to the end for me repeating myself. But, dude, running for office, you get to talk to a lot of people. And it puts them in a frame where, for the people who stick around, there's some people who are like, dude, just get away from me. But a lot of people will be like, they'll just open up to you right away and be like, you know what pisses me off is that I'm not allowed to bring my bike over the Mariposa Bridge because of the horse people. Why do the horse people get the bridge and us bike people don't? There's more bikers than horse people. And you're like, dude, we're in a real conversation right now.
Okay, so I should just start going knocking on people's doors, being like,
yes.
What's your issue?
And dude, you don't even have to technically run for office. I think you could just get a clipboard and create some kind of movement, organization, issue that you care about and just go up to people and be like, hey, do you mind signing my clipboard? It's to make it so people only do edibles, and because we don't want people blowing weed smoke into the air. It's collectively bad for everyone, and it might be banging up the ozone. And then all of a sudden wait, forgive me, because your name is Smoking Ganj, so I'm sorry for choosing that as my example.
No, man, that's perfect. That's right in my wheelhouse of issues, dude. 100%. You nailed it.
You go around with the clipboard and be like, hey, sign up for this. We only want people to do edibles. No more smoking. And look, a lot of people will give you the hairy eyeballs. Some people will think you're just a weirdo for sure. But the people who get it and who click in, that's going to be someone you really want to communicate with. So I just think make your presence seem official. And that's a green light to get close to people.
I love it, man. I'm honestly really behind this. Maybe I'll consider. I always see the elections around here. It's a small town, so half of them are uncontested. I could probably be a comptroller or something, right? I don't even know what that does.
Dude, 100%. And people are like, oh, you don't have the institutional knowledge. It's like, well, dude, people learn on the job. And look, honestly, you can quit. If you win, resign. You still got a great experience out of it.
I'm like the outsider candidate. That's like my selling point, is I don't know anything.
100%. Then you, and so in the process of that too, you're also learning how to present yourself to the world. See, right there, you just came up with it. I'm an outsider candidate. I don't know anything. If some guy comes up to me and says, hey, I'm running for comptroller, I don't know anything, I might not vote for him, but I'm instantly intrigued and I trust him. And I trust him because he shot me straight right out the gates.
I like that. You have a natural. I really hope you win this election. I know up top you said you have no hope of winning, but I gotta say, very charismatic. Very charismatic. I would vote for you.
That's nice, dude. That means a lot to me. I'm not gonna win. I'm definitely not gonna win.
You know yourself, though. I just like you were giving me a selling point. I think that's a selling point. You know yourself. You know you might not win, but isn't it beautiful to go die on your sword anyway?
Exactly. And dude, if I lose the election, but I make a couple friends in the process, it was worth it.
Hell yeah, man. Wow, this is very inspiring. Maybe I will run for local office.
Dude, hey, sheriff smoking ganj. It could happen.
I am the law.
You are the law. And you know what, dude? Burbank's funny. We don't have any weed shops because we think it'll be bad for like morale, but we're sending all those tax dollars right across the street to North Hollywood. People are still coming into Burbank stoned out of the bejeez, and we got vape shops and liquor stores. So where does the value system coming from? Maybe it's just an aggregate thing that we're trying to keep minimized, but it's a conversation. And I like conversation.
No, I was going to say in Oregon here, they did the same thing where some jurisdictions were like, well, weed's legal, but not here. I agree with you. It's ridiculous. It's like, well, I'm just going to drive across county lines.
Right. And then I might rip the vape on the way home, and now you got a stoned guy in his car for 2 extra miles.
Don't do that. But
No,
if
don't
you
ever
do
do
that.
Don't ever do that. But we have to speak
I
realistically about
understand.
what could happen. But I would never. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't even smoke that much ganj anymore. But I respect your ability and your right to maybe make it something that happens where you're at.
Dude, I love that, man. You
love
can
you, dude.
stand in solidarity. Hey, love you too, man.
Arms linked, dude. Smoking ganj, you seem like a really well-adjusted guy. You got a gal. You're open to friends, but you're not chasing it. It seems like you're just, in line and on time. Keep it going, dude.
Hell yeah, man. Big ups to you, dude. Have a great rest of your pod.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. Peace. What a great guy. I think we're good, dude. Hey, Stokers, thank you for joining us on this journey. Next week, we'll have my dearest dog, Chad, back. I love you guys. And, sometimes I don't say it enough. I don't say it enough, but I do. I love you.
If you need advice, these guys